time for another video with me sitting here talking to you guys, but you're not really here because I'm looking at the camera. And I haven't done a pickups video in a while, and I've picked up a lot of stuff. And if you watch my my channel regularly, then you'll know that I have a list of games that I want, and I try to stick to that list. I haven't done that at all, and I may have spent a little bit more money than I would like to, but there's a good reason. And I'm going to try and do this in a chronological order. I mean the way it... looking at my PC in the background, sorry. The way it all came about, and I'll have to start with the list. I'll have to start with the list that I made. It's a couple of PS3 games that I wanted. I set myself a goal to get them within the year. And then I thought, well, this is going so slowly that I'm probably going to take 2 or 3 years to do that, but I made progress very quickly, and I guess that's where it started. Let me quickly dive into... oh, here they are. Here they are. Oh God. Let me show you the list. I'll put up the list, a little visual. As you can see, these are the games that I wanted. Some of them are some of them I have, and some of them I don't have. But I always have my eBay search on, and I get daily updates, emails on, you know, we found 2 of these, we found 3 of these, but they're always crazy priced, and basically, I don't know why I look at these searches, because they never yield anything. Until this one day, this one seller that I know, that I bought games off before, that has really good deals on games that are otherwise pretty expensive. But they have them for, you know, almost like a flat rate. It's about a tenner, so I mean, it's still not dead cheap like some of you guys, you know, get on the car boot sales, but I can never match that, you know, occasionally if I'm really lucky. But I found 2 games on their site. I found one of them, and I thought, hey, you know, this the way it goes, eBay will tell me, you know, I found this game for you, and I see a price and I like it, and I click on it, and it's that same seller. It's called eStock or eStocks. I think it's eStock. So I thought, hey, that's cool. I'm gonna buy that, and that was Folklore for the PS3 for about a tenner. Now that's pretty cheap, actually. So I got that, and I was pretty happy with myself. You know, it came. The thing is, I'm really enthusiastic about eStock because they have affordable games, but this is like the 2nd or 3rd game with the box broken. Now, I don't really care about that, but they do say that the games are new and in top condition, and it's complete. You know, it's got everything, the manual and the disc is good, but it's got a little sort of the same kind of hole one of the previous games had, which is odd. So, but I got Folklore. I'm pretty happy with that. A series of unsolved murders, a mysterious telephone call, a letter from a dead mother. Now, who doesn't want a letter from a dead mother? These peculiar events draw Alan and Keats to Doolin, a sleepish Irish village that hides a gateway to the netherworld. In search of answers, they must travel to realms beyond their own, seeking the knowledge of the dead by harnessing the power of nightmarish creatures, lost souls known as folks. So I'm not sure what kind of game it is. I still think it should just say that, what kind of genre it is. Hack and slash, or RPG or whatever. I really don't know. But it looks awesome. So I got that. That's nice. And then, like a day or two later, I check the e-stocks or e-stock stock again, and I run into this game, Nier. These are both on my list, and again for a tenner, which I never. Nothing is as it seems. It seems at e-stock. It's a Square Enix game. The voracious black scroll plague has all but exterminated humanity, ending civilization and twisting the world beyond recognition. Now, sounds like a regular Monday to me. Across this ruined landscape strides Nier, hell-bent on finding a cure for his infected daughter. Now, it is nice to note that the word Nier is Dutch for kidney, so with keen blade in hand and mighty allies at his side, he is heading into the very heart of darkness. That's the game, Heart of Darkness. So so my kidney is going into Heart of Darkness. There he will learn the truth about the accursed plague, his child, and himself. Looks like a third-person kind of fighting game, which I like. So Nier, also off my list. In the space of a week, 2 games off my list. Now, short break. So 2 games, really quickly in a row, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now, if I remember correctly, of course, most of you will know that I've been messing around with my Spectrum, with my ZX Spectrum, but I don't have any games. Well, I do have the tape games, which I can play with my little guitar amp into the, it's like download stuff, and so I can technically play every game there is, but I do like to have tapes, actual games. So I went on eBay and just looked for games, and some of these games, they ask like £5 for a single tape. And then I have to have it shipped to my house, so that's crazy. I just don't do that. But sometimes people have lots, and they sell a little bundle. So I just jumped on a couple. I wasn't particularly particular about the games, so these may or may not be worthwhile. But I have Daley Thompson's Super Test. I have no idea. It's obviously like a sports game. We used to have Daley Thompson on Atari 2600, which was also always a good game. I even made a little cartoon about Daley Thompson once. Pistol shooting, always fun. Tug of war, cycling, penalties. That's obviously football. The 100-meter dash, javelin, triple jump, hurdles. Daley Thompson was like a decathlon kind of guy. Springboard diving, giant slalom, rowing, ski jump, all on a little tape like this. Now it doesn't really say if it's for the 48K Spectrum or not, but it's from OceanSoft, so it must be good. Super Test. BMX Simulator. I know the BMX Simulator on Commodore 64 is good. Will this be the same? By Richard Darling. Spectrum conversion by Tim Miller. It might just be. Oh, look, it is! It is! The screenshots on the back, and these are obviously not the Commodore 64 screenshots, but the Spectrum screenshots. And this is one of the better games. I didn't even know that I got this. Look at this. This is a really nice BMX game. And now I have it on Spectrum. That's awesome. Virgin Atlantic Challenge game. It's like a boat game. In the summer of 1986, the crew of the Virgin Atlantic Challenger once again attempt to win the coveted blue riband title for Britain by crossing the Atlantic Ocean in the record time of 3 days and 10 hours. The Virgin Atlantic Challenge game is a fun simulation of Richard Branson's part in this exciting and dangerous event. Now, this is bound to be a crap game. This is about Richard Branson. I mean, and then a simulation of his escapades on a boat for 3 days. Whatever, it's okay. And then I have Pinball Wizard. Pinball Wizard, Sagittarian software for any Spectrum. So it can't be any good if it's for any Spectrum. From 1983, superb, colorful, fast action graphics and sound give the game the feel of a real arcade pin table. Now, what pinball game has ever done that on a computer, huh? So then I got that one. I think it was about £5 or £7 plus a bit of shipping, and then I just went on and thought, I want some of the bigger titles as well. So I got another eBay thingy, which I was sent to Evo Hailer because this guy only wanted to ship it within the UK. So I sent it to Evo, and he sent it to me. So thanks, buddy. You're wonderful. But these were underway for a really long time. It was first class shipping, but it got sent to Germany, and then it stayed there a week, and then it got sent back to the Netherlands. So it arrived today, actually, which is why I'm making this video today. Heathrow Air Traffic Control for the 16K or 48K Spectrum. Now, if this is like sort of a weakest link kind of thing, that this cannot get the best out of the 48K Spectrum, I think. But Houston Consultants made this game. Now, that doesn't sound very thrilling to me, to have a bunch of consultants make a game. But they probably know something about traffic control, so this might even be interesting. I don't know. Now, I'm not a Spectrum kind of guy. I never had one or knew any of the games, but this guy is like, it sort of rings a Q*bert thing with me. Hungry Horse. Now this sounds like a well-known game. And it says here that Hungry Horse is a delightful cartoon figure with mischievous moving eyes and a rolling gait. Moves to play cat and mouse with the guards in the park. With your help, will steal their lunch, eat the flowers, and create panic in the park. Wow. Maybe we'll get to see some upskirt shots, huh? Software by Scion with Melbourne House, 16 or 84. This looks like a title that you want to have when you have a Spectrum. Now, next one, Arcadia. Then imagine the name of the game. Arcadia, 1983. It looks like a shooter, some sort of space game. So maybe not. I don't know. Jumping Jack. I think Jumping Jack was a game on the Commodore 64. Can't really remember much about it, but it looks funny. Again, nice artwork here. That's really funny. Spectral Invaders. Spectral Invaders. They invade your Spectrum. Oh, maybe your glasses. I don't know. Bug Bite, 1982. The Albany, Old Hall Street in Liverpool. Anyone from Liverpool? 98 to 100, the Albany, Old Hall Street. That's where Bug Bite used to be. Then there's Zoom, Noman Luddy. I think it's like a flying game. Again by 1983. Also by Imagine. A Pac-Man ripoff. Gobble a Ghost, which is a much better title than Pac-Man if you ask me. Because that's what you do. You gobble a ghost and you gobble the little gold nuggets. CDS Microsystems, made in England. You can never be sure, you know. Pac-Man seems like an easy game to make, but there's so many bad games. Now, the top two titles are which I didn't really know what it was about, and I still don't. But I see a robot guy with a spray can, so it looks like a fun game. Oh, and oh, we're spraying bugs. So so we're probably looking at some sort of Space Invaders game, but then in someone's backyard. Sounds like fun. And then there's this one, which everybody says that I have to get, is Jetpack. Now, Jetpack is one of the few games that I couldn't download because of the copyright something or other rule. It's not on the site that I usually get my... that's World Spectrum, I believe. They have a big database of games, but Jetpack, you know, the one that everyone wants, it isn't there. It's listed, but you can't download it. So, Jetpack, I've never played it, but it sort of... I've looked at the controls, and just looking at the controls, I can tell it's a good game, so... That's my Spectrum. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 Spectrum games. Now, they're not as cheap as I wanted them to be, but who cares? Then, we have a royal family in the Netherlands, and at one time there was this queen, and this queen celebrated her birthday by allowing everyone to sell their shit on the streets. So, still, every April, 27th of April, this now that we have the new king, 27th of April, the country basically turns into this big flea market. Good, you know, good thing to hunt for stuff and find stuff. Even in my town, you know, you suddenly you run into people who have Sega Mega Drive and games and crazy shit that you can never find, but it comes out on the street on that day. Now, this year was a particularly bad year. I didn't find many games, but I did. The first booth that I ran into, there was a guy with a, I think he had some Master System games. So I started talking to him. Said, hey, you have Sega stuff? Yeah. He said this morning someone came by who really knew his stuff, and he bought everything. So, you know, I don't want to do. I just don't want to hunt for that. But it's people who get up early and get the first shit, you know, who get the best stuff. I know how it works, so I'm not going to complain. Whatever's there when I show up is supposed to be mine, and until I am, you know, ready and willing to get up that early to hunt for the first kind of thing. But I'd feel too much like a shark, basically. I don't want to do that. But, so this guy, he did have some games, and this is really where I deviated off the path, although these games are so dirt cheap. You know, this is like a flea market. This guy knew when I'm on a flea market, I can't ask $5 for a game. This is like car boot prices. You know, this is like for $1 I got Fable. Now I have Fable for the original Xbox. I have Fable, I think 2 times over, but now I have it 3 times, and it was complete, and it looks. I just don't want the guy to think, you know, I try to sell it at a flea market. Nobody wants it. I'm going to chuck it in the bin. So you know, I deviated off my list, but it's okay if I don't spend like an arm and a leg on it. And I didn't, so I still feel good about it. This game, I will buy it every fucking time I see it. It feels heavy, so it has everything in it. It's Knights of the Old Republic. I think I have 4 now. It's a great game. I started playing it a long time ago. I'm far from finishing it, but I couldn't leave it. So this one, and he also had this Capcom Classics Collection. Now I do have this already on the PS2. I don't mind picking it up. It was too cheap to let go. So 3 Xbox games in the pocket, and I still feel good about myself. You know. What happened next? We went on a holiday. Now we took the caravan to a campsite really close to our house, and the first week, jump cut. But I have to get up to fix my jump cut. I can't just sit there and make a potato face and then the camera picks up the slack, you know. I have to get up and start my camera up again. So it's raining cats and dogs. It's mud. It's cold. It's a couple of nice days, but you know, the first couple of days I didn't mind because I was reading a book. I was reading I think I read 3 books in a row, and I was relaxing, and I was okay. But then all of a sudden, you know, there's this onset of new energy, and I think, you know, I have to do something. I have to go somewhere. So what do? I go to thrift stores, and even though I'm close to my own house, I'm just a little jump further than usual, and now I can, you know, and I have nothing to do anyway, so I can visit thrift stores that I normally don't visit, which is a good thing because I can find stuff that I normally don't find. I was on a trip with. Oh, okay, yeah, we went to The Hague, which is a long way away. I think this was just before my holiday, so I went out. Where were we going? We were going out somewhere. My friend was going to this shopping thing for clothes. She was going to be there for 1.5 hours, and I had, you know, 1.5 hours to kill in a city where I normally don't go. So this is like a few days before the holiday, right? So I'm in The Hague. I'm never there. Naturally, I have 1.5 hours to kill. What do? I go on my phone, check for thrift stores. I find one. I go over there. I end up there, and damn, it's closed because, you know, I'm there at 9:30 and it opens at 10. So I hang around a little while, hoping, you know, because the door was open and people were walking in and out, but they're all employees, so I was thinking, you know, can I just get in? But I couldn't, so I thought, well, I have to find something else. So I looked for a used game store, and there was a used game store, not a chain. It was just like a single. I walk in there, yeah, I find it. I walk in there, and it's your typical used game store, overpriced games, you know. But I wanted something, and they had one game that I've been looking at for a long time, which is not on my list. But I thought, you know, I want to get something. I drove all the way out here, and I want to get something. So I got this guy, and I know this game. This is one of those games that doesn't really fit into any specific genre, but it's Mirror's Edge. It's that the game is about she's a runner. This girl is a runner, and she brings messages from one to the next because we're in the future and all of the information transfer systems have gone tits up, and they use people to run information across the city. So it's sort of a parkour game where you're jumping on ledges and buildings and stuff, and I just like Prototype. That sort of gives me sort of a mighty feeling, you know. If you played Prototype 1 or 2, you know, you can jump buildings and stuff. This is almost like that, but she's sort of a little bit more human. This is a nice game. It was a tenner, and it was the one game that I wanted to pay a tenner for. Used, but it's complete and it's nice, and I wanted it, and I bought it. So I have this one. This was not on my list, but it's there now. So fast forward to the holiday. I'm in a place where they have very little. Sorry, I keep moving out of shot because I have to get the games. They're over here. Right, I'm in this place. It's a thrift store, and I always think that a thrift store that is near a big city yields nice stuff, but that's not necessarily true. And I don't know what the system is really. I visited a thrift store near a town that is known for having rich people. Now I'm thinking rich people, thrift store, there's bound to be nice stuff there. But there's nothing. There is not a goddamn thing. No electronics, no games, nothing. So that either means that they're not bringing stuff, or it means that even the rich people go there to pick up stuff early in the morning and everything's gone by the time I get there. So, but I go to this big city where they have like one real thrift store, and I go in there and there's nothing, you know, and I usually do a quick scan of the store. I go through the store like lightning, check out everything that's there, and if I'm dissatisfied, I'll just go back, you know, if I have time, I'll just go back and really look well, you know, and look in the CD section, and lo and behold, there are PlayStation games. Yay! Somebody didn't know a CD case is sometimes a game, and put Wing Commander. Wing Commander, everyone. And there were several PlayStation 1 games. Wing Commander 4, but it is a 1, 2, 3, 4 disc game. Wing Commander, oh wait. Yeah, it's a 4-disc game, and it has something else. ESPN Extreme Games. There's another disc in here, but it had like 4. It's basically a 4-disc 1 game and a 1-disc 1 game. Obviously, the ESPN disc isn't supposed to be in there. For $1, you know, it's nothing. $1.50. And I don't know this game, but now that the bloody battle between the Kilrathi and Terrans has been concluded, the Confederation doesn't have to look very far for its next enemy. Civil wars and unrest have broken out on the home front. Colonel Blair is recalled to help the Terran government stamp out the growing fires. So it's a firefighting game. It won't be easy. The Confederation is beginning to splinter under the new... It sounds like Star Wars. 3 flight modes. Virtual physics with an ultra-realistic feel to flying. Sony dual analog, blah, blah, blah. Choose your own destiny. Compassionate hero or merciless avenger. 5 different control layouts. Top quality movies. Sci-fi special effects. I don't know. It looks like they put a lot of effort in this. Anybody know anything about this game? Wing Commander 4, The Price of Freedom. PS1. And also $1.50. In the arcades, when I was young, you know, there were games you liked, there were games you loved, games you played a lot, and then there was this game that just, I couldn't believe it, you know. I couldn't believe Dragon's Lair. You know, what do I want to call it? The CDI, no, CDI, listen to me, no, what's it called? The big, like, I don't know what it's called. The way that game was displayed, it was like a cartoon, you know. I knew that games were good when their graphics got better, but this was a cartoon. This was a drawn cartoon, and you could control it. It blew my mind. So every time I see like a Dragon's Lair game, I bought it once on the Commodore 64. It's the only game I ever bought for the Commodore 64. This is on PC. I bought a PC game. I never do that. I bought a PC game. There's a naked chick on here. I don't know why. Oh, that's who we're trying to save. Daphne, of course, is naked. I didn't know that, but that's cool. Now, Dirk the Daring, in my hands once more. You have to love this game. Return to the Lair. It may even be like a sequel-ish game. I don't know. I just bought it because there was nothing else, and I had to get something. Whew. Comes another thingy. I have a toy store. It's not a Toys R Us, it's an Intertoys toy store. I get a lot of games from there. They have crazy, crazy, crazy deals sometimes. I get really expensive games. Sometimes the people in there just mark down their games, and you know, I have to get them. So I count on that. I count on that happening. Now they have a PS3 section, which is, you know, it's getting smaller and smaller because it's all Xbox One and PS4 now. But there's a very small PS3 section. Now, a subsection of that is games, you know, you get 2 for the price of 1. And they've been having a game on there that I want, and it's marked down from 60 to 20. Now, 20 is too much. I know it's new, it's retail, blah, 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 but I don't want to pay 20. Less than 10. I'm going for less than 10. I go on eBay, I go on the local auction sites, I can't find the game for that money. So, they have 2 copies of this game. And I've been eyeballing this game for over a year. And it's withstood all kinds of markdowns and you know, a Santa Claus and spring break kind of markdown, whatever. It's always been there, and it's never been cheaper than 20. For some reason, there's a guy in there who determines the prices. He's thinking they have 2 copies of this game. There used to be 3. Someone bought 1, so there's 2. And I go into that store like once a week. I think, you know, maybe this week they'll have marked it down, but they never do. So I just go on the local auction site again, and guess what? Puppeteer, this lady has it. Right before I go on my second holiday, because I went on another to the same camping site. Right before that, I mailed this lady. I said, you know, Puppeteer for a tenner, can I get it, you know, including shipping? She comes back to me after like 2 days saying, oh, I promised it to someone else. We intend to leave on Wednesday. She says, if I haven't heard from this person by Thursday, then it's yours. I'm thinking, fuck, you know, what do I do? Do I offer her more money? No. This is obviously someone who wants to, like, you know, stick to the code and do the nice thing. Yeah, that's fine. So I decide to be nice. You know, I say, oh, okay, you know, you'll just let me know and whatever. So I wait another day, and I think now, you know, I have to sort of ping her. You say I'm still here. So I send her an email. I say, you know, I would, you know, I'd wait till Thursday, but we're leaving for a holiday on Wednesday. Is it possible that you know, for you to decide before that time? Luckily, I strike the chord with her because she mails me back, you know, whatever, you can have it. I'll mail the other guy that I'm selling it to you. So I got it for a tenner. Puppeteer. This has been in my hands inside the store. You know, the only way for me of getting Puppeteer is stealing it, running out of the store. But I don't want to do that. So I got Puppeteer finally. And apparently take place in the theater of fantasy. Kotaro is in trouble. His evil moon bear king has stolen his soul and has changed him into a wooden doll. Pinocchio. You know, when Kotaro wants to go home, he'll have to beat the 12 generals of the moon realm and the tyrant himself. So it looks interesting. This was one of the games on my list, and once recommended by Champion 2D Rob. So Rob, so that, you know, if you're keeping count, there's 3 games off my list in a very short time for the price that I want to pay for it. So I'm very happy. Now, in the meantime, my daughter and I, you know, we're going on this holiday again. We're going to the same place. This time we're going there with friends. The weather is a lot better, but still, you know, there are moments that I say, you know, honey, I'm going to take the car and go to a thrift store. I get to this thrift store and I see this thrift store. It's near a bigger town, but it always has games. And I run into GameCube games, and I think, oh God, you know, 5 GameCube games, not on my list. And this is where you know, it takes the better of me. I shouldn't have bought these games. I take these 5 games with me, and I'm walking around the store, being really happy with myself, and I think, why don't I check some of the games? So I opened the first case, no disc. Shit, you know, so I put it back. I think there was a Spider-Man game. There's another game. I open that up. There's a disc in there, so I try to, I turn it over. It's all smashed up. It's broken. So finally, I end up with 2 games, and in the end, yes, they're cheap. There were $3.50 each, so it's 7 worth of games, and one is Monster House. I probably shouldn't have bought this. I think this is a crap game, and one is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which I already had. So 2 GameCube games. This is why I want to stick to my list, because I don't want this. Now, if any of you out there trying to complete your PAL Nintendo GameCube collections, just let me know, because I've got some. Now, same store still. They have an Xbox game, Forza Motorsport. Now, I know Forza. I like racing games. I know Forza is on the Xbox One. The new iteration of this game is really good. So I thought, why not pick that up? And the thing that I'm really happy with, it was also $3.50, was new Super Mario Brothers for the DS, which I didn't have. Well, I had, thanks to my R4 card, but I didn't have the physical copy, and I wanted that. So, up yours if you don't want to collect this kind of stuff. I'm picking this up. This is $3.50, and I'm playing it, and I love it. There. Now, one more to go. Well, 2 games, but there's one more location. I go to this place. It's like a huge flea market, and again, it's barren. It's all old stuff, hinges and antlers and cans and I don't know, wrenches and shit, shit that I don't want. I have this. Every human being, your visual cortex, I've learned this afternoon, is very quick at recognizing shapes and colors. And the way I go through flea markets is I walk past the booths at top speed, and I judge each stall. If I see clothes, skip it. If I see children's toys, I have a look for CD shapes. If I see antiques, skip it. Old phones, forget it, And that way I run through the place. And then if I feel like it, I just go another time. And if I see the same stuff on my second pass, I'll know that I've seen everything. Now, I picked this up. There's this table. There's some keyboards, and there's some, a little bit of everything. Clearly someone who's emptying out his attic, and he doesn't know what he has. So there's a PS1 game, Mickey's Wild Adventure. What do you want? 50 cents. I'll take it. I know I have this, but this again is one of those times I have to pick up something. I have to buy something, so it's 50 cents. He also has this. Ooh. Which I'm running out of room here. For the PSP, every extend extra. Now, what got me about this is extend yourself into an unknown universe where your only chance for success is going through perfectly timed destruction. That's already, that captures my attention. Every extend extra fuses futuristic puzzle, shooter, and musical elements to create an electrifying battle experience like no other. Sold. It looks like a twin-stick shooter with dancey girls and, with music and everything. It sounds like the bomb. So I bought this. It was cheap. So, now the whole reason we went on this holiday to this campsite, because there was another flea market there, right there, like on the side of the campsite. So we went there. I'm gonna make this real quick, guys. I bought. There was nothing there. No games. Oh, I forgot something. Roll back. I go past this lady. She has a PS2, a PS2 Slim. She has a little note on it. So a little note on it, $12.50. I walked past it. I said, I'm not going to buy another PS2. I already have the pink one. I have a fat one. I have a blue one. I have a black slim one. That's another one. I really don't need it. But again, I'm in a buying mood. But I pass it by. And I tell myself, I'm not going to do it. I'm with a friend. I tell him, you know, tell me not to do it. He said, don't do it. So I tell him, you know, I walk out of the place and I tell him, what do I tell him? Basically, I tell him, I'm going to go back. If it's still there, I'm gonna offer her a tenner, and we'll see what happens. I walk up there, it's still there, so nobody's buying games there. I said, will you take 10 for it? She said, sure. It has one controller and all the cables, so I have another PlayStation Slim. If you're looking, I haven't tested it yet, but I will. It has, the good thing about this one, it has the network interface, so you can connect it to a network device, and with the right software on a memory stick, you can play games, rip games online, basically. So if you're interested, just let me know. I have a complete system here. Jesus, this is another reason not to buy stuff. You know, the videos get really long. Then the next last thing is I found a Commodore joystick. A joystick by Commodore. It looks crappy, but the thing is, it has yaw. So I just thought, you know, after spending a whole day walking around there and finding fuck all, why not pick this up? So I picked this up. So I get to talking to the guy, and he says, oh, well, you still have a Commodore? I said, yes, and I really play it and stuff. And he says, well, I saw something the other day, and he described it. I'm not going to say what it is. And I said, oh, sure, that's nice. Bye. I bought that off him. And I walked 3 booths on, and that item that he talked about, I find it right there. So I'm standing there talking to the lady. She says, oh, it's $5. I said, well, I'm not interested, but I'll mail my friend, Mark. So I send Mark a message. I said, Mark, I took a photo. I said, you know, is this something that you want? And he doubted like for 3 seconds. He said, well, pick it up. So I did. So I have it sitting over here. I won't show it. I'll give it to Mark, and then maybe he'll show it, maybe he won't. But it's boxed. It's a really cool item. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it does. Mark and China. I'm done. I'm done. Let me go. Oh God. I think I've done like 2 jump cuts. That's it must be over 40 minutes now. So I'm going to leave you guys. Thanks for watching this long video. It's an extremely long pickups video. But I haven't done that in a while, and I thought, you know, let's just sit down, spend some time together. You know, my friends, I love your company. Every time I'm in here, I forget to take a drink. My mouth is really dry, so. Anyway, I'm bad at goodbye, so I'm out of here. See you guys.